Imagine someone walking up to you and offering a deal that sounded too good to be true. But they said it with such confidence that you believed them, a deal that could double your money in just a few months. Now imagine that person becoming so famous, so trusted, that thousands of people lined up outside his office, begging him to take their cash. This is the story of Charles Ponzi, the man who created one of the most famous financial schemes in history and whose last name became a synonym for deception. Charles Ponzi arrived in the United States in 1903 with just a few dollars in his pocket. Like many immigrants, he dreamed of making it big, but he had a problem. He wanted success, and he wanted it fast. He tried different jobs, waiter, bank clerk, even dishwasher. Everywhere he worked, he saw wealth all around him, but none of it belonged to him. Ponzi wasn't satisfied with a normal life. He wanted more, and he was willing to take shortcuts to get it. In 1919, Ponzi discovered something interesting: international postal coupons, a small piece of paper used to exchange stamps between countries. Because of differences in currency values, Ponzi believed he could buy these coupons cheaply in one country and exchange them for more valuable stamps in the U.S. It was called arbitrage, and on paper, it looked brilliant. Ponzi claimed he could make a huge profit with this system. And then he went a step further. He promised investors a 50% return in 45 days, or 100% in 90 days. No one had ever heard of anything like that. People didn't understand the system, but they understood one thing: double your money. And that was all they needed to hear word spread across Boston like wildfire. Within days, people lined up around the block. Factory workers, teachers, businessmen, everyone wanted, and some people took out loans. Others emptied their savings. Ponzi's office became a circus. Stacks of cash filled every drawer. Employees struggled to count the money fast enough. And here's the secret: Ponzi wasn't actually making money from postal coupons. He was paying old investors, using the money from new investors. A cycle built on trust and illusion. The world would later call it a Ponzi scheme. But at the time, no one suspected a thing. With his newfound wealth, Ponzi lived like a king. He bought luxury cars, expensive suits, a mansion with servants. Newspapers called him a financial genius. Magazines wrote glowing profiles. He became the symbol of the American dream. People who doubted him were told, if it's a scam, how come he pays on time every single time? And that's how a good illusion works. You give people the results they want, and they stop asking questions. But while the public adored Ponzi, journalists weren't convinced. One newspaper started digging. They discovered something shocking. To make the profits Ponzi claimed, he would need tens of millions of postal coupons. Yet not even a tiny fraction of that existed in the real world. The math didn't add up. As the truth spread, investors panicked. Banks questioned him. Regulators closed in. Ponzi's empire, built on confidence and momentum, began to crack. The investigation grew deeper. When auditors finally examined Ponzi's books, everything came crashing down. There were barely any postal coupons at all. No legitimate profit. Just money moving in circles. When the truth came out, the public was stunned. Their financial hero had been running a massive deception. Investors demanded their money back. Crowds surrounded his house. Police escorted Ponzi through angry mobs. The illusion was broken. Ponzi was arrested and charged. He faced multiple sentences for fraud, and over the years, he served time in several prisons. The man who once promised wealth to thousands died almost penniless, but his legacy lived on, not as a financial genius, but as a warning. Today, almost every large-scale financial scam is still called a Ponzi scheme. The name he tried to make famous became famous for all the wrong reasons. Ponzi's story reminds us of something timeless. If someone promises unbelievable profits with zero risk and no effort, it's probably a trap. Ponzi didn't invent greed. He exploited it. He told people what they wanted to hear, and that was enough to build an empire until it all collapsed. This was the story of Charles Ponzi, the man whose dream of quick wealth became one of the most famous financial scandals in history. If you enjoy real-life stories about deception, ambition, and the hidden side of history, like, comment, subscribe for more documentaries from Stories of Criminal World.